Danny Hamel.
Danny Hamel.
Once every 10 years, a person comes along and dominates the sport of desert and off-road motorcycle racing. He's usually a racer that possesses something somewhat greater than that of his competition. He possesses great strength, both physical and mental. He possesses near-perfect riding technique. He possesses extremely quick reaction time. He possesses good mechanical inclination and motorcycle-ready rides. He also possesses the uncanny ability to read the desert floor as though he'd been there before, sort of like a mathematician that studies a formula. He is able to simply go to any desert region and dominate. In the 1960s, a Southern California desert racer by the name of J.N. Roberts had arrived. It was he who became the sport's first hero and the sport's first king. J.N. was on top of the sport for approximately 4.5 years. In the 1970s, Mitch Mays and the legendary Malcolm Smith had transcended to the top of the race results. Mitch Mays was known to be a desert specialist who could go anywhere at any time and stop anyone in his way. He was there for about 3 years. Meanwhile, Malcolm Smith proved that the off-road rider could have a wider variety of expertise. An ISDE superstar who had the ability to win Bajas and Grand Prix alike. In the 1980s, Larry Rossler and Dan Smith shared the coveted crown. Larry Rossler was known to be the best all-around rider in the United States. Meanwhile, Dan Smith was known as the King of the Desert. Among these heroes, and through these eras, there were several others that tried to carry the coveted crown. Some of their names: Bob Ballantyne, Bruce Ogilvie, Jack Johnson, Scott Harden, and A.C. Backen, to name a few. In 1989, the crown was to be passed on again. The passing of the torch. Out with the old, in with the new, so to speak. This time the highest bidder was a young teenager from southern Nevada. His name? Danny Hamel. Like his mentor and predecessor Dan Smith, Hamel was loved, admired, and respected by even his closest rivals. He dominated the sport for 5.5 years and was nearly undefeated. He rode at a level that had never been seen before. In 1987, Danny Hamel took the southern Nevada desert by storm. At the young age of 15 and a half, he shocked and embarrassed the local experts. I know this because I was one of them.
Here they come.
Danny's out in the lead.
He is? He first?
Right over here. Yep.
Right going by the smoke, right?
Yep.
Somebody's catching him? No.
Somebody's behind.
Okay. He's in lead right here? Okay, I've got him. Oh God, I hope something's wrong with his bike.
Who's that out there? Are those driving by?
Comes Danny, first lap, leading overall. Little wheelie for the film. 15. He's been riding for a long time. And he's leading. Race of the year. Yes? Is he on the line still? Is Danny? Is Dan? Danny?
I can remember one race when he was riding Suzuki's, and they did this, start up this wash, and this kid on a Suzuki comes flying by me, and that's about when he was just starting to really do good. And I went, son of a gun, and here I'm supposed to win the race, So from that point on, really started taking notice of his accomplishments.
First lap. Dan's pass now. Having fun. Danny head. I got him. Mm-hmm. Here comes Danny. Race of the Year, Southern Nevada Desert Racer. It's a 10-mile course.
Being a successful mini bike racer helped Danny advance quickly into the big bikes. At this time, he started capturing the attention from the factories. It was KTM America that made the first approach towards Danny Hamel.
Danny's third 250.
Comes Danny. Really?
Dan, I ran out of gas. What's your drink?
Give me the top of the tank. I can't reach it. Right there.
I started Danny Hamel back in about 1988, actually, when I came back to ride a local Moran race. At that time, he was one of the young, up-and-coming young riders. And in the race, he passed me like I was standing still and had a large lead until he crashed right before the finish. But I knew right then that the kid had a lot of talent. And being from the Las Vegas area myself and having grown up here and having a lot of roots that go back a long ways, a lot of people and good friends, my good friends at Sportsman Cycle, had told me to really keep an eye out on this kid. He was going to be something someday.
I just tried to ride smart all day. I knew it was going to be a long, tough race. I just tried to save my equipment all day long. My bike's working really good. I worked really close with KTM, and they get me all set up, and my bikes just are excellent. I couldn't ask for anything more there.
Years later, Kawasaki Team Green followed suit by capturing what was their nemesis at the time and signing him for the next 3 years. The classic case: if you can't beat them, join them. I really respect what I was able to accomplish there with the resources we had. And with the new team this year, Kawasaki, I got the bikes working really good for me. And be the leader.
boy, there goes the man.
As a Team Green Kawasaki off-road supervisor, I'm really happy to have the opportunity to talk a little about Danny Hamel. Quite an individual. He excelled in many different areas, to me and also to the team. Number one, obviously, how everybody knows, he was the best rider there was out there in off-road racing. Not only that, Danny was an incredible social individual. He promoted Kawasaki, he promoted his sponsors better than most riders know how to do. And that's one thing that really excelled Danny above everybody else, is that he was a great, great individual.
Hamel, believe.
Danny Hamel. Casey Marks, the organizer of the Daily Grand Prix. No problems for you today?
No problem whatsoever. Casey put on a really great race, like always. Really good mark, safe course. You know, I'm really glad to be here first.
Danny, you know, first half of the race, we had a really fast pace going, and we'd gone back and forth. And when I caught him, it was no intention to pass him, and then I got right on him, and then I got around him, and then he got right on me, and then we kind of switched back and forth. It was really fun. I haven't had that much fun since Adelanto racing with Larry like that.
I had the pleasure of working with Danny starting in about 1992, and I've prepared all of the bikes that Danny rode in Mexico from 1993 on, and I've done a lot of preparation for Danny's national bikes as far as motors and those types of things go, special parts. As far as a rider goes, Danny had an amazing ability to ride the bike to the utmost of its potential, and it was always a pleasure to have him on one of my bikes. He could make it do exactly what the bike was intended for. One of the other things that as far as working with Danny goes, every time that I prepared a bike, Danny took the time to look at every little thing on the bike, and there was a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons is because he was happy to see changes and new things that would help the bike, but he also, in the back of his mind, wanted to be able to utilize those things on his own race bikes.
Qualifiers finally paid off for me. ISDE qualifiers and the mud ruts and all that. And it didn't bother me at all today. Because I've ridden that kind of stuff before.
Good ride, Danny.
Thank you.
Doesn't matter whether it's Baja or Mesquite, the result's the same for you lately.
So far, everything's been going really good on my Team Green Kawasaki. This year's just starting out just like it ended up last year. I couldn't ask for anything better. Everything went perfect today. And I haven't seen anybody else pull in yet, so it looks like I did win.
A little nasty out there.
Yeah, on the fourth loop it started to rain like it is now. Made it to the finish first, so I'm pretty happy to be here.
Congratulations.
He started riding with Kawasaki. I mean, that was some really special moments. I remember a lot of times he would always tease me we'd be out testing. I mean, Danny's big and he's strong, you know, in his style over the bars. And here's this little LR, you know, hiding behind the handlebars. And he'd always just, the little guy, he goes, how do you hang on? You know, he couldn't get over how I could hang on to 500.
The race looks like we're going to have a good weather. You know, we had a little bit of rain yesterday, no dust. So it looks like it'll be a really good event.
Anybody you look for tomorrow that could give you a bad time?
Well, like always, it always ends up me and Larry Rosler. You know, we always end up banging handlebars all day long.
It was Danny the teacher who had the presence of mind to share his knowledge and experience about desert motorcycle racing to the average person. This was a very odd thing for a champion at his time who had not been dethroned.
Not out here to impress us, you're out here to learn, you know, not out here to impress your friends. We don't want anybody to get hurt. That's our biggest thing. We're just out here to practice basic fundamentals and show you riding techniques. You know, you don't need to try to impress us. We want you to just try your best. You know, try what we're trying to show you how to do. But we don't want anybody to get hurt. The front brake is the biggest way to slow down on a downhill. It's the best way to slow down because your rear brakes, you want to keep the weight back to keep the rear wheel weighted so the rear wheel won't lock up as easy, but it's still going to lock up.
Like I said, he's using the rear brake to drag. What he's doing is turning up the dirt, and that's kind of causing the plow. The front brake he's using to keep himself at speed.
Exactly, that's the only way.
You
not want to stress. If they do get sideways, you don't want to just launch on the front brake.
No,
you.
Bad idea.
You just apply, you know, you don't just grab a handful of front brake, you just apply pressure to it gradually.
Is it worth going to some of these schools, like motocross schools?
You know, Daryl Folks and I have started a school this year, or over the last couple years. We do it, and we the money that we make, we pay to go to some races that the people don't help us go to. And I think it's a great asset. If you talk to some people around the pits today that have been to our school, we've got some really positive feedback from it.
There was Danny the person who was kind-hearted and respectful to others in a very caring and passionate way.
It'd be nice about that because, you know, however bad it might be, they're always out there helping me. They're there spending their money, their time. They're coming out there to help me. And then, you know, if you'd be nice to somebody, it goes a long way.
What advice do you have for some of the youngsters out here who are just getting started?
Most important of all is stay in school. You know, you got to get good grades. My parents always made me get good grades to race. If I didn't have the grades, I couldn't race. It's the most important thing. Just try hard and just, you know, have fun. If you're not having fun, it's not worth doing. Another thing, I'd like to wish my mom a happy Mother's Day. She came out here to support me today. She's going to be down in the pits cheering me on, and yeah, it's a great asset for my team.
He was an inspiration to young riders. He was an inspiration to everybody that was at the racetrack. And we truly were pleased and honored to have Danny associated with us while he rode Kawasaki Team Green. Thank you, Danny.
Well, the thing that attracted me to Danny the most, of course, was his talent. Everyone had seen him ride. He was a true talent. But after I got a chance to meet him and saw what kind of person he was, that really made my decision real easy to make him part of the KTM team. He had all the qualities that we're looking for, and racer, someone that's likable, approachable, works well with the public, besides getting good results. And Danny was all that right from the start. And probably the thing that I'll remember about Danny the most is even all the success he had and the position that he raised himself to as far as being a champion, one of the true all-around best champions that this sport has ever had. He never really changed from his basic self, which was just a good person, a genuine good person, real likable, never got a big head, and you know, I always really admired and respected Danny for staying true to himself.
Danny transcended the sport of desert and off-road motorcycle racing like no other racer before his time. He handled every situation with the type of charisma that it takes to be a true and complete champion on and off the motorcycle.
Welcome back to Moto World. When the defending AMA Hare and Hound champion, Danny Hamel, won the series opener, everybody said, well, business as usual. When he failed to finish in series round 2, it spurred the title hopes of all of Danny's championship rivals. Well, last Sunday in Lucerne Valley, California, series round 3, Hamel demonstrated that he is right back on the winning track. Larry Rossler managed a feeble smile as he came off a sickbed to try and give his Kawasaki teammate Hamel some competition in this, the famed Czech Chase, organized for years by the Checkers Motorcycle Club. Now, back in the heyday of desert racing before environmental restraints, this was one of the most important events of the year. It still is. Hamel's strategy was to be first to the smoke bomb that marks the beginning of the serious cross-country racing. Instead, he was third, but within 5 minutes, he took the lead.
Just kind of rode my own race from there, and later in the second loop, Larry Rosler caught me. Then I fell over and he passed me, and I caught him and passed him back, and then we kind of raced all the way through the rest of the loop, and he got me again. We were just back and forth. We weren't 3 feet apart the whole time. So I went out into the third loop and just charged as hard as I could the whole time. You know, this is 2 years in a row, and I just can't say how happy I am to be here first again.
Changing of the guard in off-road racing. Stay with us. The head of the field, Larry Rossler. 5 for 5 in class wins last year, 7 for 7 the year before that. But LR's young Kawasaki teammate Danny Hamel has become the hottest property in the desert. He won the Baja 1000 to wrap up 92 with a bang, came to Adelanto undefeated in 93. And Hamel is fastest of them all. Here's the proof. Rough ground, lots of dirt. Listen to the engine. He never lets off. Hamel nearly lapped Landshark, won the 500, Pro 500, and won what you brung division. And the 25th anniversary of the legendary Baja 1000. Now the race starts before daylight for fast guys like Danny Hamel and ends the same night. 16 hours is a good target time for a competitive bike. Most top teams run 3 riders and follow a carefully planned strategy.
You know, I'm going to go out with a kind of conservative approach this morning. We're going up through European, a real dangerous area. It's kind of like hard-packed roads with a lot of rain ruts. We're going to be going right into the sun. So, as you can see, I got a little thing taped on my visor to keep the sun out of my eyes, and just kind of get through there and survive, and then get on the gas from there and hopefully bring it on into El Castero, where I'm getting off the bike in the lead.
Larry's young teammate, 20-year-old Danny Hamel, emerged as the star of this year's Baja, runner-up the last 2 years. He won it over the Honda that you see right here. John Campbell up, Dan Ashcraft and Dave Donatoni rode that the rest of the way. They were second, 12 minutes behind this, the winning bike. Paul Osbo and Garth Sweetland were Hamel's teammates. Third place to another Honda, Chuck Miller, Bob Rutten, and Bruce Ogilvie up on that mount. Now, I'm sorry, no videotape of the finish. Take my word for it. Former high school football star Garth Sweetland brought that fight.
27A, Danny Hamel. And this guy smoking is Danny Hamel. And when I say smoke, he does smoke.
This is the first bike coming over this hill. Didn't even hesitate. Looking down there. Woo, smoking through here. Come on.
Mr. Danny.
I can remember back at Tonopah 300, Daryl and I, we took off from the starting line. We were the first ones off, and pressure was on me to do really good. I was teamed up with Larry Rosler and took off, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And before I knew it, I looked over my shoulder, and here comes Danny. And he came by me so fast, I was just standing still. I was like in awe. I was like, this can't happen. We're only 14 miles out. And he came by me, and I tried to hang with him, and it was unbelievable riding. Here I was looking at arrows and going to all these corners, and Danny had the ability to retrain like no one else I've ever seen. And he could cut corners. He knew right where the course was going to go. He'd go down a wash, and he knew when to start jumping out of it. Or he knew right where to look. And, it was unbelievable. I wish everybody could see that, but it was an awe.
On his heels. A good race going here. Whoa, is he flying? Can't tell what it is through the lens. Beautiful riding. Beautiful. He's going to catch him, do or die. Okay, we got here. Whoa! There's Danny Hamel right behind Larry.
Don't go by this one. Go by. I told him, I said, you know, I'd like to give the Hamels my trophy from winning. You know, and I don't know how that will be accepted. You know, I don't know if that would be a bad thing or a good thing or what. And so I called Ron. He says, I think it'd be a good thing. You know, and Mark Ferris from Thor said, I think it'd be a good thing. And so we talked to Mark Johnson about it. Mark says, you know, Rick, the Hamels think an awful lot of you. You know, that Mark thinks it'd be good if you called him, you know, and asked him and talked to him. So I called up and talked to Mr. Hamel, and I told him that, you know, I respected Danny as a rider because he could do things in the desert on a bike that I never could, you know, even at my peak.
I think everyone knows that Danny Hamel was the fastest desert racer there's ever been, and it looks at things the fastest is ever going to be for a long, long time. I was very fortunate to be able to race with him on many occasions. Luckily for me, I always get great starts, so I got to see Danny ride a whole lot because he always passed me. And it didn't really matter where we were, what kind of terrain it was, whether it was, you know, at his home in Nevada or my home in Southern California. He could pull off the race course and go through the Tules and just ride through that stuff better than any other person there was. Everyone's also been able to, you know, reflect back on how much he did for them, whether they knew him as a friend or knew him as a racer or just knew him as the legend that he was and is. And all I can say is, yeah, Danny, one person can make a difference, and you did.
Ask Larry about training. Other than riding, what do you do to train?
Well, my week consists of working on my bike every day. I'm mountain biking, water skiing, you know, just you know, every day I focus on how to win another motorcycle race.
You do any, you have any special diets or anything like that?
Well, I try to follow a pretty fat-free diet, you know, especially for a race like this, when it's such a long race and it takes so much out of you, you need all the energy you can have.
How long ago did you start racing motorcycles?
I started riding when I was 3 years old, and I started racing when I was 9, and now I'm 22.
Danny Hamel, look at him cook. Woo! Here he comes. First in the turn. Well, here he goes. He does cook. First lap. 10-1, it's Danny. Stopping for a pit. He's gassed. And that's Danny Hamel. Look at that style.
In a professional career that lasted just over 6 years, Danny Hamel achieved the near impossible. Simply put, he eclipsed all of his predecessors. Danny was 5-time National Hare and Hound Champion, 3-time Best in the Desert Open Pro Champion, 2-time ISDE Gold Medalist, 4-time Motorcycle Racing Association of Nevada #1 plate holder, 2-time AMA District 37 #1 plate holder, 3-time Southern California Off-Road Enthusiast Overall Motorcycle Champion, 3-time Baja 1000 Overall Winner, 2-time Baja 500 Overall Winner, 4-time Sam Fleet 250 Overall Winner, 3-time Parker 400 Overall Winner, 2-time Virginia City Grand Prix Overall Winner, 1-time Nevada 500 Overall Winner. Danny compiled more than 200 overall wins. Throughout these accomplishments, Danny Hamel managed to always remain ethically and morally sound. Two critical psychological behaviors that stardom normally defeats.
World champion, Danny Hamel. Thanks for all those nice words, Casey. That really means a lot to me. Growing up here in Nevada, racing Moran with all my friends, and, I just love to come back to Vegas and race. I've ridden a lot there in the Eugene area in all the Moran races, and Casey does it today every time. He gets me lost out there. I think I know the area really well, and I get turned around backwards and start looking around, wondering where I'm at, and he just amazes me what he can do with the race, and how he puts on races so professional, everything's so well organized, well marked. I came to the finish line yesterday. I told Casey, I never overshot a corner. Casey, the margins were perfect. You guys just did an incredible job. I was talking to Casey on Tuesday down at Sports and Cycle, and he came through with his promise, wet dirt. He told us, if you remember back to the riders meeting there in Mesquite, he said, well, I'm going to tell you, we're going to have wet dirt on the gold track, and he did it, and it was great, I don't know what you're doing, but I hope it holds up for you. Just as long as it's not muddy like it was 2 years ago. I'd like to thank Kawasaki Team Green for supporting me, giving me this opportunity to come race and be here with all my friends and everybody. My support crew, my parents, for supporting me, my mechanic Mike, and my Valentine, Becky. This is really great. Thanks again, guys.
A great friend, a great champion, and a great hero. Ask yourself, who do you know that fits that description?
bike into the alternate gas at about mile 36. Danny Hamel. Apparently Danny don't need no alternate gas. I guess he can go 48 miles on a tank. Well, that is the dust of Danny Hamel. There's still in the sound of another bike anywhere. He's already blown through the alternate gas and he's up into the mountains, and I still didn't hear another bike coming down here.
You really have to ride that hard yet?
Well, without you being there, Ty, you know, it's just kind of a cakewalk, going out on a Sunday trail ride and kind of sat out there and smoked a cigarette and relaxed for a little while.
What do you have planned after this now? You going to continue doing the rest of them?
I think just take the rest of the summer off, you know, eat some ding dong, kick back on the boat all weekend down at Havasu.
You know, okay, you're sitting around, but I'm pleased that you can fool around and be coherent without breaking up.
Yeah.
You see, that's the difference between now and earlier on. When you fooled around, you cracked up, but you were being coherent. If you put it together as a gag, and it was totally articulate and totally coherent. It's a habit, but you can see what happened with your shoulders, okay?
Sure.
All right, really come and get us now. Even louder.
All right.
Next year, would you think about doing the Enduro series since you have 3 top 5 finishes?
You know, for a guy my size to fit through them darn trees, it's really tough. So I'd just rather stick out with the desert where I can just twist it on about 80, 90 miles an hour and just hang on and leave the little guys in the dust.
Okay. Passing of the torch. In with the out. Oh, God. All right. Take 2 on this.
We'll lost our sheep.
Take 3. Take 4, I believe. Take 1. We're going to do a take 2. Okay. All right. You ready for 2? Yep. Okay, take 2. Being a successful mini... Okay, this is a little pause here. Take 3.
We're still rolling.
Okay, take 4. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Okay, we'll try take 5.
Okay, we're on.
Okay, take 6. Being a successful mini bike rank. Being a successful mini bike rank. That's good, huh, Leroy? Maybe that's a part of the script. All right, so where are we? Are we on take 15 or what?
8 or 9.
Okay.
I lost track.
All right. Oh, man, what a fanoke, huh? All right. I think we're on take 8. All right, this is take 10. Okay, this is take 11. Okay, take 12. It's take 13. This is take 14. Take 15. Take 16. And we started capturing the attention from the factories. Cut, 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 cut. Take 19. This is probably take 20. Could be take 100, who knows.
Oh, wait, is that the end of it?
Yeah, that's how short this is.
I got a zoom back.